Hello Internet! So nice to see you. Today I want to show you a great technique that I learned from a few jazz players. And this is an idea that takes one lick, any kind of lick you might have when you are creating a solo, and from this lick creates a lot of different variations that sounds like the original lick, but different. And so you can take one lick and create a whole solo out of that. This technique is called pivoting. Let's go and see that. Since we need to practice, we need to have some example licks, okay? So I have 3 super simple example licks. Those licks are so simple that I'm gonna play them for you, and you're gonna put your hands in your hair and think, Tommaso, you're joking. These are way too simple, okay? Because the first lick we're gonna use, it's this. It's just a simply descending pentatonic scale. It's not even a lick, it's a scale, okay? Our second example lick, it's kind of a stock blues lick. You guys have heard this one, okay? Our third lick, it's slightly more advanced, very slightly, it's a C major arpeggio. Those things barely qualify as licks, okay? Barely qualify as licks. Because one is a scale, one is an arpeggio, and one is something that has been played from the very beginning of guitar soloing, okay, from the prehistory of guitar soloing. So, super simple things. I'm taking the super simple things so that we can concentrate on how we get to know them, even if they're super simple. Then, you guys can take any super complex lick and do exactly the same, and all of these are going to give even better results. The picture of the girl is there to keep your attention. It has nothing to do with the procedure, okay? And this is pretty openly a manipulation, so you guys know. Good? Okay, now let's see the actual procedure. Let's see the actual guitar stuff, okay? Pivoting. Pivoting is a way to transform a lick, okay? And I think it's a genius way of doing it. I didn't invent it, okay? I'm not trying to praise myself. I didn't invent it. Pivoting takes something super simple and make it super interesting. It works this way. You take the lick, okay, and you split it in 2 parts. The first part stays exactly as it was before. The second part, you play it 1 octave higher or lower, okay? And typically, you change the octave in the opposite direction than the lick, which it's a sentence that makes no sense. So I'm gonna show you exactly what it means in practice, okay? But remember, split the lick in 2 and change the octave to the second part, okay? So our first lick was a descending pentatonic scale. I'm splitting the lick on the first 5 notes and the last note. See, it's the first bar here, okay? And that this red line here is the splitting. So the first part of the lick is the same. And at the end, I change it. I change the octave to the last note. So now it sounds this way. The last note goes an octave up because before it was going down. From the next to last note to the last note, I was going down. So now, from the next to last note to the last note, I'm going up. Makes sense? And then I can split the lick in another place. So the second bar, I split the lick in 4 notes and 2. Then we can try the other bars. So, oh, by the way, on the third bar, if you notice, I changed the position to make it easier to play. Notice we start from here. And on the third bar, we got these. Doesn't even sound like a scale anymore. Okay. Fourth bar. Okay. Final bar. And to change the position again. Split the lick in 2, change the octave. Let me play the same for our other 2 licks, okay? So our original lick, okay? Now I'm splitting at the beginning. I'm taking the bend and splitting the rest. Oops. Okay, now the difficulty is to play the bend connected to these. Okay, second bar. Third bar. Notice now I'm going an octave higher because from the third note to the fourth note, from the A to the G, originally I was going down, no? A, G. So now I need to go up. Bit harder to play. Final variation. The arpeggio, original. Now I'm going to move the whole arpeggio an octave down, because otherwise when I start moving the rest an octave up, I'm going way too high on the fretboard. And I want to keep this lecture acoustic guitar friendly, so I don't want to go too much above the 12th fret. So the original lick was this, but I'm gonna think that the original lick is actually this. So an octave lower. And then from here I play first variation, then second variation, next variation, and final variation. Okay, now you recognize those licks as being the same as before, but slightly different. You do because I just showed you and I just play all the variations. But if you play only one variation in a solo, people do not recognize it as being the same lick. It just sounds like something in the same style, and that's what you want. Right now, I want you to do two things. I'm gonna put a picture of a friendly kitten to reassure you that you guys can do it, okay? So you see that to apply pivoting to your lick, you need to know your fretboard really well, and you need to know where you find all the scales around your fretboard. So if you want to learn your scales better and your guitar fretboard way better so that you can do this without thinking too much, I will recommend you guys check out my course, Master of the Modes. Master of the Modes, it's not a book, and it will never be a book. It's a complete video course made by guitar players for guitar players that take you from zero to become an expert in using modes and scales. This course is for people who are not afraid to do some exercises. Theory is important, applying theory is more important, so the course is taught through exercises that you have to do, and the more you practice them, the better you become. If you have just a minute, check out Master of the Modes at the link on the top right. If you like this video, smash on that like button, don't forget to subscribe and click on notification, otherwise YouTube will not let you know when I put up a new video. And if you have any idea, any feedback, any suggestions, please write them down in the comments. I love to read from you. This is Tommaso Zilio of musictheoryforguitar.com, and until next time, enjoy!